good morning. Thank you for joining us. I am Brandon Hudson. Thank you on this Wednesday.
I'm Dina Santofanti. We do have a lot to get to this morning. We begin with the latest on the war between Israel and the terrorist group Hamas, now on its 5th day.
No end in sight. Both sides continue to launch attacks as the death toll climbs. Fox's Marianne Rafferty has an update.
Clouds of thick smoke continue rising above the Gaza Strip as Israel ramps up its counterattacks on Hamas terrorists. The war, now in its 5th day, is in response to the surprise assaults launched by Hamas in Israel over the weekend, which resulted in hundreds of deaths, including some American fatalities.
Women brutally raped and murdered. They took dozens of children, bound them up, burned them, and executed them.
Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews.
Israeli airstrikes flattening buildings in the Gaza Strip after sealing it off to food and fuel. Palestinians are trying to avoid being caught in the crossfire as the injured overwhelm hospitals. Hamas continues returning fire with Israel's Iron Dome defense system striking down their rockets in the air.
Israel has a right to conduct an aggressive response to respond to the terrorism.
The number of dead on both sides is at least 1,900 and expected to keep rising. Israeli military units are still recovering the bodies of those murdered in villages along the Gaza border.
We're such a small country, and proportionally this would be 25,000 people dying in America.
This as efforts continue to help the hostages taken by Hamas, which includes several Americans, according to the White House. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected to arrive in Israel Thursday to address any extra support the U.S. can deliver to its ally. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Now, members of Metro Detroit's Jewish community also feeling the impact of the war as they worry about the safety of loved ones abroad. City leaders here at home are doing what they can to provide support. Fox News' Robin Murdoch joins us live from Oak Park, an area with a significant number of Jewish families. There's worry and security ramping up. Robin, good morning.
Good morning, Dina. Yeah, we are currently outside the public safety building here in Oak Park, and this is one of the areas around Metro Detroit that has added extra police patrols due to the violence that happened in Israel over the weekend. Now, we are told that there have been no new threats to date. What is happening here is about being proactive and keeping people safe.
Seeing those images on television, seeing what was going on, and of course now a couple days later seeing some of the aftermath of that, it was quite shocking, and I think most of our community probably feels the same.
Eric Tungate, the city manager for Oak Park, weighing in on the weekend violence in Israel, the surprise air and ground attacks, the immense bloodshed, and how this community is now responding. About 30,000 people currently live in Oak Park, close to 40% of that population Jewish.
It's hard for me to just sit here, thousands of miles away and see that my friends that I studied with, that I sat next to, are now going and fighting on my behalf, on the Jewish people's behalf, and that only motivates you to do as much as you can.
Rabbi Shaya Katz is with Young Israel, one of more than a handful of synagogues situated around the roughly 5-square-mile city. On Tuesday, Oak Park announced increased security specifically around these places of worship and in area neighborhoods out of an abundance of caution.
Our community is predominantly a walking community, walking to synagogue and so forth. So extra patrols, eyes and ears on the street, making sure people are safe when they're out and about is the top thing that we're doing right now.
Officers are also keeping close tabs on the internet, scouring social media for intimidating remarks or other suspicious behavior. This while keeping in constant communication with various members of the Jewish community and other groups who call Oak Park home. No threats have been reported, and those who reside here hope it stays that way.
When things like this happen, we've really, we hunker down and be there for each other.
Now, Now, the Southfield Police Department is also adding extra patrols. I did talk to the chief of police there earlier this morning. He says that they will be monitoring schools as well as neighborhoods, and they will be adding officers to some large events. All of this, again, as a precaution. We are live in Oak Park this morning. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Boy, Robin, such a terrifying field of emotions from just devastation from what we see, what's happening over in Israel, and then also feeling that fear here at home. It's a lot to deal with for many of our communities.
Yeah, and you can kind of sense just the feeling of nervousness around this community in particular as we were going out this morning trying to get some video. I mean, people are very nervous about the repercussions, about what is happening in Israel right now. But again, police, they are taking lots of extra steps to make sure everybody remains safe, and hopefully it will stay that way. Back to you.
All right, Robin, thank you.
Well, many people here at home have spoken out against this war. This conflict continues to show division among communities. In Dearborn, Palestinian supporters packed the Ford Performing Arts Center for a rally. They say it is to remember the innocent victims in Gaza that are also being killed. Fox News' Dave Spencer reports.
Free, free Palestine! As a war wages on 1,000 miles from Dearborn, support for the Palestinian people was on full display.
We are not ashamed to stand with the legitimate rights of Palestinians to live free from occupation and apartheid.
The president of the New Generation for Palestine says what happened on Saturday in Israel was not an unprovoked attack. He says it was in response to 75 years of oppression and occupation.
This is not complicated. This is simply racism, apartheid, occupation, and ethnic cleansing, and that's what we are here today to protest. That's what we are here today to say we stand against. It's been going on since 1948.
While violence continues in Gaza, Palestine, and Israel, he and others at this rally say the violence should not be celebrated.
We are a room full of love, full of hope, full of faith. We love our homeland. We love our people. We love justice.
We're not here to celebrate. We're not. We're here because something tragic is happening.
This rally is about giving the Palestinian people a voice in the midst of crisis. Messages delivered with passion.
They left a fire in our hearts that will burn that state until its demise.
Passions that sometimes burned against one another.
We must truly believe that no child is more valuable than another.
How can peace prevail when Palestinians are routinely stripped of basic human rights?
All signaling how desperate the people supporting Palestine are for a loud voice to stand out in the crowd.
Don't worry, I'm going to make sure that everybody is heard. Free, free Palestine!
And that was Dave Spencer reporting. Now, those speaking at the rally were quick to point out that those who were not at the rally, specifically lawmakers like Governor Whitmer and Senator Gary Peters, who recently spoke in support of Israel the day before, the speakers urged everyone in attendance to remember that during the next election.
All right, new this morning, Michigan State Police continuing to investigate a fatal crash that shut down the Lodge Freeway for several hours overnight. This happened in the southbound lanes near 6 Mile. A red sedan so badly damaged it's nearly unrecognizable. An SUV upside down. We're still working to gather details about exactly what happened. The freeway is back open at this hour. And an update this morning in the search for an autistic child who went missing in Clinton County on Monday afternoon. Sadly, the Clinton County Sheriff confirms the body of the 2-year-old little boy was found yesterday afternoon in a nearby river. Sheriff Sean Dush said little Jermaine Jones disappeared from his family's home after a babysitter left him alone briefly while taking a shower. Roughly 300 volunteers joined law enforcement searching for the child whose body was found in the Looking Glass River. No foul play is suspected, but the incident remains under investigation.
A man accused of shooting and critically injuring his girlfriend over the weekend is now in custody. Inkster police did not give any information about where Andre Williams was found. The shooting happened Saturday night on Biltmore Street near Somerset Drive. The 29-year-old victim is in serious condition. Officials say that she is expected to survive, but she faces a long recovery. New this morning, Detroit fire crews are busy earlier today battling a fire that caused a building to collapse. It happened around 4 this morning in the area of Verner and Lawndale in southwest Detroit. You can see the haze there. Fire crews were called to put out the fire at a strip mall, the blaze going to 3 alarms. So far, there's no word yet on how the fire started, but thankfully, no injuries were reported.
Well, I feel bad for any location that is being laid off due to a strike, but one thing about it is I know every brother and sister's in the long fight for the long haul, supporting one another.
There is support. There's also a growing concern among those UAW workers walking the line. More on that as employees struggle with the financial strain of the strike.
We can disagree on policy issues all we want, but when you get into character and ethics, I expect people to be above board.
A scandal at City Hall in Allen Park involving political signs, and it's all caught on camera now, threatening the future career of a city councilman.
We said today was going to be the nicest day of the week, but there's still some lingering showers out there. So how much longer will these last, and what changes can we expect as we head into the weekend? Your forecast is coming up. All right, let's get into your forecast here right now, live, Houghton Lake, outside. It looks like a pretty decent day, although those clouds are getting a little bit thicker. There are spots where the sun is trying to poke out. Most of those spots are down to the south. So Monroe and Lenawee counties got plenty of sunshine down here, but the farther north you go, you run into clouds, and it's this zone right here that unfortunately encompasses quite a chunk of our viewers, from Livingston County through Oakland County and Macomb County, where the rain is still falling. And it is like a spotty shower kind of rain. It extends back towards Lansing. And I think we're going to see that for probably another hour or two before we start trending in the drier direction. I was hoping most of this rain would have moved out by now, but it's still kind of lingering a little bit. So some spotty showers still out there. High temperatures, I'm optimistic, but I still think we're going to get to 60 degrees today. We're at 53 right now. Should be drier as we head into the evening. Quick check here on the 7-day forecast, where those numbers are in the 50s. And the weekend not looking great. We'll talk more about your weekend forecast in just a little bit. Guys, over to you.
Thanks, Derek. Caught on camera in Allen Park, a city council member stealing his competitor's campaign signs right out of someone's yard.
Well, now Councilmember Gary Schlack is responding to these allegations and possible criminal charges. Here's Fox News' Amy Lang.
It's 10:30 Saturday morning at a home in Allen Park, and City Councilman Gary Schlack is setting up his sign and taking another down and vandalizing another. Signs for 2 other political candidates, and this isn't even his property.
What's shocking to us, and to me personally, is that someone, a sitting office holder, would do this on camera. That shows a very poor judgment and lack of character.
Robert McLaughlin is the campaign manager for city council candidate Timothy Estheimer. Jim Barry is the campaign manager for mayoral candidate Tony Lawley. Their signs are the ones in the video.
It's a sad day for the city of Allen Park, and it's an ethics problem.
They were all alerted to the vandalism and theft Saturday morning and reported it to Allen Park police.
It's embarrassing to the city. It gave us a black eye.
We believe that people should be accountable, and you know, we're running a clean campaign. We expect, and the voters deserve that. Allen Park residents deserve that.
Gary Schlack declined to be interviewed, but released a statement saying, quote, "Recently I did something out of frustration. I'm ashamed and acted with feeble judgment. No excuses for my actions. I'm asking for forgiveness to my colleagues and to the city. My focus is on my family and our community," end quote.
Allen Park police say this will be handled like any other case. It'll go through the court system. Does involve 2 misdemeanor violations, one for malicious destruction of property, the other for larceny.
Tim wants to focus on issues, not this kind of petty, childish behavior. I guess we should be flattered, because that means he's worried we're going to win. That's our intention.
But until this, Robert says he planned to vote for Schlack in next month's election. After all, there are 6 candidates on the ballot and 1 write-in candidate vying for 6 seats.
I know how I'm going to vote now as a result of this, and I can guess from the way people are posting on social media, I'm not alone.
Jim Barry hopes the community can move beyond the sign scandal.
We're a great city. No matter what side we're on, we're all work together to make things better for the city of Allen Park, and that's our goal, make things better for the city of Allen Park.
In Allen Park, Amy Lang, Fox 2 News.
Well, speaking of other politicians in trouble, New York Congressman George Santos is facing more criminal charges. The Justice Department is handing down a new 23-count indictment. The Republican is now accused of stealing the identities of campaign donors to ring up tens of thousands of dollars in authorized credit card charges. He was previously charged with embezzling money from his campaign and then lying to Congress about his wealth. Santos is not commenting on the new charges.
On Capitol Hill, House Republicans meet behind closed doors to try to pick a new leader. They voted out Kevin McCarthy as Speaker more than a week ago, and the House has been in a holding pattern ever since. McCarthy has expressed some interest in getting his job back, but now he's saying it's someone else's time. Right now, it appears the race is between Jim Jordan and Steve Scalise.
We need to get Congress back to work. Speaker Scalise on day one. We will, number one, be passing a resolution to express our strong support for Israel.
I think Jim Jordan is the one that can bring everyone together. He's got the relationships across the political spectrum to do that.
Well, it's not clear if either congressman has enough votes to win the speakership yet. There could be a vote on the House floor as soon as tomorrow.